Hey everyone, welcome to Pianalytix, and today I'm going to talk about the top DAX functions that you must know. So this video is going to be super helpful for you if you're trying to become a data analyst, and whether you are learning DAX for the first time or you just want to revise these concepts because you have a major interview coming up. This video is going to be super helpful for you. I will go through every DAX function that you must know one by one, and I will explain how each one of them work and when should you use what. But before getting into this video, I will quickly explain what DAX exactly is. So DAX is basically data analysis expression, and these are formulas that you use in Power BI to manipulate your data, and these are similar to the formulas that you might use in Excel, but the syntax is very different, of course. So yeah, I'll go through every one of them. And obviously, I won't go through every single DAX function. There are about 220 plus DAX functions, but there are a handful, like 20 to 25, that data analysts use on a daily basis. And these are functions that you must know. So I will go through those 20 to 25 functions, but you're allowed to, practice and go through every single one of them in your free time. So yeah, before getting into the video, I will also quickly go through the data set that we have. So I have about 3 tables here. This is the first table called date, and it just has one column date. And then I have a financials table. So this is a very big table. There are about 700 rows and about 20 columns. So this is a very big data set. And then I have a third table called products. This has 2 columns called product and product ID. And I'll quickly show you. So in the model view, the products table is linked to the financials table in a one-to-many relationship. If you don't understand what relationships are in that, I highly suggest you go back to the star schema and snowflake schema video that is on our channel. I have explained all of this in very, detail. So you should definitely go through that if you don't know what modeling is in Power BI. Right. So I will get into DAX now. So there are 3 ways of implying DAX in your in Power BI. The first one is a new measure. So in new measure, you calculate a measure which is a single value. And then the second way is through new column. So in new column, you create a brand new column in Power BI according to the filters that you use. I will go through that in a while. And the third way to use DAX is through new table. So again, pretty self-explanatory. You create a new table in Power BI. So the first Power BI DAX function that I want to go through is the basic formulas. So basics are very important whenever you learn something. The basic formulas in Power BI include sum, average, product, minimum, maximum, divide. And these are very important before you go to the advanced formulas. So to use basic formulas in Power BI, you go to new measure, right? And suppose I want to calculate a measure called total sales. Right, so I will name this total sales, and then I will use the sum formula for this, obviously. And yeah, so it's suggesting different columns, and it takes a column as an argument. So I will select sales, the sales column. I will close the parenthesis and I will press enter. And you can see a total sales measure has been created. I would like to, yeah. So in order to see how this has been created, I will select a matrix and I will put this in the matrix here. And we can see this is the total number of sales. This is a very big number. So this can give you a lot of insights into your data, and this is how you can use the sum function. There are other basic functions like average, minimum, maximum. Minimum extracts the minimum value of a column, maximum extracts the maximum value of a column, and so on. So you should try those on your own. And now the second DAX function that you must know is calculate. So calculate lets you calculate measures based on a particular filter, right? So suppose you want to calculate sales, but for a particular country, right? So say I want to calculate sales for Germany, then I will go on new measure and I will name this measure Germany sales, right? And I will go on the calculate, yes. So this is asking for an expression. So I want to calculate over total sales. So I will select total sales, comma, the filter is country. Yeah, country should be equal to Germany. And I can use any number of filters here. So say I want to get total sales for Germany where sales are less than 10,000. So I can also do that. So sales less than 10, 1, 2, 3. And I will close the parenthesis and press enter. Right, so a Germany sales column has been created. I will put it in the matrix to check. Right, so there are about 1,69,071 sales that were less than 10,000. So this is how you can calculate, you can use the calculate function. And then the third DAX function that you must know is filter. So filter works similar to the calculate function. The only difference is that filter allows you to use multiple filters and it allows you to put more restrictions on your data. So filter can be used either through and or through or, which is pretty self-explanatory. So in and, both conditions need to be satisfied, and in or, any one of the conditions need to be satisfied for the column to be considered. So I will calculate using a new measure. I will name this Germany sales less than 10K. So I'm calculating the same measure that I calculated in the calculate function. So both of them should be the same, right? So I will use the calculate, yeah, and then you select total sales, and then you select filter, and I will, it is asking for the table as an argument. So we want to extract it from the financials table, and then filter expression. So there are two filter expressions that I talked about. There is and there is or. So I will select and here. You can also try it with or. And then it's asking for logical 1 and logical 2. So logical 1 and logical 2. So I want to select country should be equal to Germany, and logical 2 should be sales should be less than 10,000. And I will close the parenthesis and I will press enter. And the new column has been created. I will put it in the matrix. And yes, both of them are the same. So both functions worked correctly. And then the fourth DAX function that you must know is count and count rows. So both of these functions return the number of rows, and the difference is that I will show you. So I've created a new measure, right? So I will name this count because this is the count function. So count takes column name as an argument, and say I want to get the count of country ID, right? And I will close the parenthesis and press enter. So this is going to return the number of rows that have country ID. So it's 700, right? And then I will also create a new measure for count rows. And this takes table as an argument. So I will just select financials. So this will return the number of rows in the full table. Yes, count and count rows, both of them are 700. So the reason the result is the same for both DAX functions is because there were no blanks in my data set. But basically the difference between the two is that count only counts the items and it excludes the blank values. So count will return the number of columns that did not have blank values, and count rows counts all rows regardless of if there is a value or if it's blank. So yeah, that's the difference between the two. And count can sometimes give a wrong impression because it excludes the blank values. So you need to select these based on your data set and based on what you are trying to do. And then the fifth DAX function that you must know is related and related table. Now this is where the Right. So related and related table is calculated based on, I will go on the table view once. Right. Okay, basically they return a new column, right? And related table are similar to the VLOOKUP function in Excel. And what they do is, so I will show you how related works. And related only works when there is a one-to-many relationship. Related, yeah, I will use this column, and it takes column name as an argument. So I will say in this data set, I will quickly show you before doing this. There is no products column, right? We have a product ID here, but there is no product name column. So say I want to get the product name column in the financials table, and this is the many side of the cardinality, the one to many. Financials is the many side. So I will select related, and yeah, this is already suggesting from the table that it is connected to. So I will close the parenthesis and press enter. And yeah, so this new column has been created and it's showing the product name for each of these. So product category, sorry, product ID was C001. So the product name is Carrot Air, and then there are others as well. So yeah, this has looked up the name of the products, and this is similar to the VLOOKUP function. And I will also show you how related table works. So related table, both of these return columns, so you need to do it through the new column function. Yeah, related table. Now related table returns a table, right? So see, if I give like products as an argument here, the products table, it takes a table as an argument and returns a table only. So, and if I press enter, see, it's going to give an error because you can't fit a table in a single column, and you always need to use related table with count rows. So now it's showing 1 1 1 because this is the many side of the one to many relationship. If I go to the products table, and if I add a new column using the related table, and I will select financials here and press enter. Yeah, so this will give an error, but if I add count rows, yeah, it's giving a number. So basically what it means is that there are 93 rows for this product, 202 rows of this product, 109 rows of this product in the financials table, right? So this can give you some insights, but related table always returns a table, so you want to use it with either with count rows or you want to use it in a new table function. So it's similar to the VLOOKUP function, and the only difference between the two is that related takes column name as an argument. That's one. Also, related only works when there's a one to many relationship, but related table can work when there is any relationship, so one to many, many to one, many to many, but the two tables need to be linked for obvious purposes. And then the sixth DAX function that you must know is the if-else block. And the if-else blocks let us categorize our data set into different categories. So I will show you how you can do that. So I'll go to the financials table, and suppose I want to add a new column based on the sale price. So I want to put these different products into different price categories. So I will make a new column and I will name it price category, and I will use the if function. So if sale price is less than 100, then name it small category. If it is greater than 100, so if it is not less than 100, it's the large category. And I will close the parenthesis, and you can see a price category column has been created. So because sale price is 350 here, this is showing large. But if I scroll down, sale price is 20 here, so it's showing small. And this is how your sale price has been categorized into different categories. And this is how you can use the if else block. So it's facilitated through the new column measure. And then the seventh must know DAX function is the switch function. So now switch is similar to the if else block, but this is more or less similar to the multiple ifs condition. So if you want to apply multiple if conditions, can be very messy. You can do it using the if else blocks, but it is too long and too redundant. So instead, you can use the switch case statements, and they go over every single condition and apply the formula based on if it's the right condition that has been provided by us. So you need to basically, I'll show you how you can do that. This also lets you categorize your data. So I will go on the date table, and I've been given a few dates here. So I will add a new column, and I want to categorize these dates into different quarters of the year. So quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, quarter four, right? So I will name this column quarter, and I will equate this to say I'm using the switch statement here, right? So the switch statement takes an expression as the first argument. So I will give any expression. Say I will give a boolean, so true, right? Now it will evaluate these values based on if they are true or not. If I had given false, it would take it as true if the values were false. So that's how it can happen. So if I will ask it to extract the month from the date, month, dates, yeah, date, and if it is less than say 3, it becomes quarter 1. Similarly, extract a month of date. If it is less than 6, then it becomes quarter 2, and then extract the month from date table, date. If it is less than 9, then it becomes quarter 3, comma. If all three of these are false, then it becomes quarter 4. So you don't need to specify the fourth condition. It's an else, right? So you close the parenthesis and press enter. And yeah, so June is in quarter 3, that's true. October is under quarter 4, and then I will scroll down. Yeah, April is in quarter 2, and yeah, January is in quarter 1. So this has categorized our dates into different quarters, and this was the switch case statement. So again, similar to multiple ifs, but easier to apply. And then another must know DAX function is the X functions or the iterator functions. Now, suppose you want to calculate the product of total sales times total units, right? So if you were to do it using the simple aggregate functions, first you would create a measure and sum the sales column. Then you would create a second measure and sum the total units column. And then finally you would create another measure calculating their product. So that would make the model too big, and that would be too redundant and time consuming. So for that, what you need to do is you can use the aggregate functions. So aggregate functions include sum x, average x, max x, min x, product x, etc. I will show you how these work. So you can go to the financials table, and suppose I want to create a measure, right? And I will call this max x. So what I want this measure to do is extract the max value from the sales column and from the units column, and then create a product of the two, right? So what I'll do is I'll use max x, and then I will give a table as an expression first, so as an argument. We go on table, and then the expression that I want is, right, so total, no, sales times you want to do units sold, and I will press enter. You're right, so this measure has been created. I will put it in the, yeah, here it is. So this is the number. It's a very big number. What it has done, it has extracted the maximum value from the sales column, and then it extracted the maximum value from the unit sold column, and then it multiplied the two. So this is how you can use X or the iterator functions. And there is sum X, product X, average X. You can try all 5 of them. And this is a must know DAX function again. And then finally, the last DAX function that you must know is the top n function. So what the top n function basically does is that it takes a table as an argument and then it returns a table based on the filter that you applied. So it returns a filtered table, and you can use this by using the new table, yeah, feature. So say I want a table, I will just name this table 1, and then I will select top n, and now it's asking the n value. So suppose I want to extract the top 3 rows from the table. So I will say 3 here because I'm extracting the top 3 rows from a particular table. Then it's asking for the table. So say I want to extract financials. Order by expression. So say I want to extract the top 3 columns based on total sales, right? So, or gross sales. So gross sales, and then comma, order by 0, 1, ascending, descending, true or false. So say I want to extract highest to lowest, so I will select descending and press enter. Right, so it has extracted the top 3 rows according to gross sales. So this is in a descending format, as we can see. And yes, this was the top n function. It took a table as an argument and then returned a filtered table. So this is what the top n function does. Another top DAX function that you must know is time intelligence functions. And time intelligence functions let you manipulate data based on particular time periods. So this is again a very important DAX function, but I will not show you this in this video because time intelligence functions deserve a video of their own, and I will coming up with that video very soon. But for now, you're allowed to revise it on your own. But again, I will come up with a video based on time intelligence functions, and these were the top 10 DAX functions that you must know for every data analyst. And yeah, you can, if you have any questions based on the video, you can drop comment below and I will be happy to answer this. And do not forget to like, share and subscribe. We will be coming up with a lot of more advanced Power BI content. So please stay tuned to our channel. Thank you.